Hello everyone, and how are you today? This is Sue McCurdy from Susie Q Designs coming to you with another video from my craft room. I am going to do a video today on an alternate card for the February paper pumpkin kit. You do not have to use the materials in this kit to make this card. However, it's a beautiful fun fold card and you can use whatever materials you like to make it. I just happen to have a few leftover materials in this kit to make another card. So I found this fun fold that I did a couple of years ago, and I'm gonna bring it out and redo it. So this is the February paper pumpkin kit, Sweet Springtime. And it has such a cute box, I just love it. So I'm going to be using that. And we still have a couple days of celebration left. So if you are interested in getting a free celebration product, you just need to put in a $60 order. So even if you got a 3-month subscription to Paper Pumpkin, you could qualify for getting a free celebration item by doing that. So you could get a 3-month subscription, a 6-month subscription, or a 12-month subscription, and you would get a free celebration item with any of those. Okay, so that's just until February the 29th. We're in the last couple of days with that. Also, they have an amazing joining sale right now. If you join, you just need to spend $135, and you can choose $165 in product, or you could pay the $135 and get the free glass mat, which is very popular. A lot of people are getting that. So yeah, a couple days left on that sale. If you want to get in on it, just let me know. Send me a message and I can help you get signed up. Or if you would like to put in an order, Paper Pumpkin is a way to go. There's so many good kits coming out right now, and I'm always doing some alternates for them. So that's what I'm going to do today. Show you another alternate. So thank you for joining, and please. So I am having a prize this month for anybody who puts in an order, and the prize is going to be this beautiful paper. This is a celebration item, and you can get this free with a $60 purchase until the end of the month, so only a couple days left for that. So it's called Flight and Airy 12x12 Designer Series paper. So anyone who puts in an order, I will put you in a draw for that on March the 1st. And if you are local to me, I'll leave it as a 12x12. If you are not local to me and you put in an online order, I can cut it up into 6x6 and mail it out like that. All right. Also coming up in March, I have the Magical Meadows card class. This will happen at the St. Thomas Hub. Very beautiful cards. We'll be doing some ink blending with the brushes. And then also on March 27th, here at my studio at 9:30 a.m., we'll be doing the hot air balloon class. So we'll be doing these 3 beautiful cards, and there's 3 fun folds, all made with the hot air balloon set, which is gorgeous. Just love it. I love the colors in this set too. So look at how nice those are. Okay, so let's get started with our project for today. The project for today is a fun fold card. So what we are going to be doing is starting with a base of white cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5 it measures at, and then we're going to need to score it. So I'm going to bring in my cutter, which I'm going to use as my scorer, and we're going to do some scores on this side, and then we're going to flip it over and do some scores on the other side. Okay, so you're going to score your first one at a 1/4. So I'm just going to use the 1/4 spot right up here on this side. So score it at a 1/4. Then the next one you're going to score at is 1 inch. I'm going to slide that over to 1 inch there. And then 1 3/4. So I'm just going to flip it around and use this side now. So 1 3/4 is here. And then 2.5. 2.5 is there. Okay, good. Then we're going to flip it around and do the other side. So first one is at 1/4, and just because it's so small, I'm going to do it on this side and then flip it around. It's kind of easier for me with this cutter. So 1/4, 1 inch, 1 3/4, and 2 1/2. So 1 3/4 is right there. And then 2 1/2. I'm not sure what this fold is called, but it's really cute. And that's all the scoring that you need to do. So we just got it even on that side as we do on this side. Then I'm going to bring in my bone folder and score those lines. Now this is going to come in like a box. I'll just bring in the other base that I made. Okay, so it's going to look like this. So you're going to have a flat at the bottom, and then it's going to be like a box on either side. So let's get ahead. Let's get started on scoring it. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in my folds. They're all going to be coming in. So I'll do that one. Score all of them to come in towards the middle. And this one. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue on this little lip right there. So let's get the other side scored with the bone folder. Just going to make sure I go make nice deep creases on these ones so that it'll give some good structure to our card base. This card is going to stand up. Kind of reminds me of a diorama fold. Okay, I'm just going to take my sweater off, getting a little bit warm here. Okay, so in the middle, what we're going to use for decorating it is designer series paper. So I'm going to use this piece from the paper pumpkin kit. All right, so what I'm going to do first though is I'm going to glue the base down. Now you could use tear and tape if you're really good with using tear and tape. I'm going to use Tombow glue, and something good to press it down with would also be helpful. So if you this is just like a glitter picker upper, or like something you use for like a putty brush, something like that, just to press down where you put the glue on so that it stays. Now these little spaces are 3/4 of an inch apart. So when I put the glue on it and I glue it down, I'm going to want to make sure that when I glue this on, it's going to be at 3/4 of an inch apart. My glue's just a little bit clogged up. I'm just going to bring in a pokey tool and clean that up. Hopefully that works. Sometimes it just gets a little bit of dried up glue in there. And then that happens. Goodness. All right. Let me just fix that. I pressed it too hard. Just going to bring in a wet wipe and fix that. So I don't want to get it all over my project, which is what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's try that again. So yeah, it was a little bit clogged. Now I have a little bit too much glue on it, but it's okay, we'll work with that. Okay, so when you go to glue this down, what I did is I want to make sure that it's 3/4 of an inch when I glue it down. So I'm going to line it up over here. Just want to see if you can see that on my sheet. Just adjust that a little bit. Okay, so on my sheet where the 3/4 of an inch part is, that's where I want to line up my paper, and then try to get this in the right spot. It'll just make your finished product look a lot better when it's done. So it's just kind of hard. This is probably the hardest part of the card, is making sure this stays in the right spot while the glue is drying. So I'm just gonna line that up at the 3/4 of an inch part, and it went in a bit too far. So I'm gonna pull it out and reline it up. There we go. Okay, then I'm just gonna press that down and give it a good press so that it stays in the right spot. Okay, that one moved a little bit too, so it's a little bit too narrow. Okay, that looks better. All right, so that's a nice square there. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Put a little bit of glue along here, and then I'll press it as well at the 3/4 of an inch mark on my ruler over here. Actually, it's this one. Okay, so this has to be at 3/4 of an inch. And then I want this to line up. So I'm just going to try to get this whole line here to line up with that, and then I'm going to try to get my base to line up there. That looks good on this side. Let's flip it around and do this side. There we go. Just going to press that glue down now, and then see how it looks like that. If I just give it a nice press there, then hopefully it'll stay into place. Okay, so the card base is done. It's going to stay up like this. And then I can cut my designer series paper to decorate it. Okay, so what we're gonna cut this at is 5 3/8 by 5/8. So I'm going to bring in my paper cutter. Gonna close up my glue. Okay, so 5 3/8. So 5, 1, 2, 3/8 is here. So I'm gonna cut this little piece off. And then I need 5/8 over here. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want it to line up right there. Okay. Oh, I just moved it. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right here. Hold that down a bit better this time. There we go. Okay, so I need 2 of those. So there's one, and then put it at 5/8 again and get another one. So I want them to be the same size so that I get them looking equal on either side. And then in the middle, this part should be 5 3/8 by 2. And that works out perfectly. It's 2 inches and it's already cut at 5 3/8. Okay, so that's what we're gonna use to decorate the base of our card. So here's the base. We're gonna glue that on in the middle. And then we're gonna glue on these 2 pieces. So I'm just gonna bring in my tweezers and my Tombow glue again and adhere that. Let's put a bit of glue on there and get that into the middle. So there's going to be a little bit of a border at the top and the bottom, so I'm going to try to get that on correctly. So hopefully that will work. I could have trimmed this a little bit more if I wanted to have a border on the inside, but I think this is going to work just fine. Okay. All right, and then now I'm going to do my outside pieces, and then I'm going to decorate my card. So you can use whatever products you like. So I'm going to be taking the products from the paper pumpkin kit. Try to get that on straight first. And the add-on to the paper pumpkin kit. Okay, and put a bit of glue on the back of this piece as well. Okay, and try to give that the same amount of border as I have on the other side. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so now I am going to decorate using my paper pumpkin pieces that I had left over. So I have a bunny. I think I'm gonna put that in there. And I have this from the add-on, this piece. So I used this die from the add-on to cut that out. And I'm going to adhere it to this piece here and put it right there. And I like this card because it looks like a diorama. Okay, and then I'm going to put that there. So if you want, you can put this into an envelope. So it'll just be like this when you put it in. Okay, so I'm gonna glue the bunny there, and then I'll put the other pieces on. So this one I'm gonna do flat. You can pop it up if you want to, but I think I'm just gonna do that one flat. And then this one, I'm going to put it right here so that you can see the bunny through it. And I'm going to kind of glue it just on the outside two pieces there. Not all the way around, because I don't want to have glue where I don't need the glue, so just about that much. And I can close it if I want to for this, like close the card down, and then hopefully I get it on the right spots so that it will be able to fold into an envelope. I'm gonna have to move that up though. I had it down too low. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay. And then hopefully that is in the right spot. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I made a little bit of a mess there, but that's okay. When that dries, I can use an eraser to erase that off if it's bothering me. Okay, and then now I can put that on there and this on here. So I just need to decide what my sentiment is going to be. So I could put Welcome Baby from the stamp set or Happy Easter. So I think this one I'm going to use Happy Easter. So I'm going to bring in my stamp pad. I'm going to use Berry Burst for that. Okay, so just going to ink that up. Turn it around so it's facing the right way, and I'm just going to line up my sentiment with the lines here on my grid paper. Then I know I'm getting it straight, and then try to go straight down here so that I get a good image. There we go. It's a little bit crooked. It's a little bit hard for me to see right over top of my stamp because the camera's in the way, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with that, and maybe we can put some embellishments around that. Okay, so I could pop that up. That's a good idea. So let's pop it up. I'm gonna bring in some embellishments for that. to grab them. So I'm going to put them right down the middle because this strip is narrower than my sentiment piece. Okay, and then bring in a pokey tool to get the paper backings off of there. Okay, and now I just going to put that there, and then I can glue that on here. And I like the way that that pops up a little bit and gives it some dimension. All right, so also what I did is using the die, I made a daffodil. So I'll just show you how I did that. And this one I colored using blends. So the die that came in the add-on, okay, it had this piece and the daffodil and the word love. So I just got 2 pieces of paper and I stacked them, and then I put it through the die cutting machine so I could get a couple pieces die cut out at once. And then you'll just need to pop these apart because there's 2 here. And then I'll show you how I colored them. I used the blends for this. So the colors I'm using are Daffodil Delight Light and Dark, Pecan Pie Light and Dark, and Shaded Spruce Light and Dark. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in the piece there. So how I did it was I started with the Pecan Pie Dark, and then I just used the fine tip piece to do in the middle, and then I came in with the lighter one and then I blended it out. Okay, so I'm just going to blend it so that it will go from light or dark to light here. Okay, and then with my Daffodil Delight Dark, I'm just going to go along where these creases are in the dark, and then I'll use the light to blend that out. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go in circular movements around where the dark is, and then it'll blend it into the light. It gives it a really nice effect. So it's actually fun to use the blends. I really like using them. And then on the bottom, I think I did that one all in one color. So I just did the dark, I think, but I think on this one I'll try to do a little bit of blending here. So I'll just do a little bit on each side, and then I'll blend it using the Shaded Spruce Light one. So to blend that, just kind of go in little circles around where you put the darker spots, and then blend it out into the rest of the piece. So I'm just going to bring in a pokey tool here to hold it down. And I'm coloring right on top of my grid paper, so it doesn't matter if I get the ink on there. There we go. So it has a little bit of a blended effect on there. So this flower is blended on the leaf and that one is not. So it's a little bit different what you can do with it, with your blends if you want to. And there's that piece. So now I can just decide where I want to put these on here. And so I could put one down here and one up here. That looks cute. Okay, so on my sentiment, I'm just going to put some glue on the outside of the banner part. because that's the part that's going to adhere to my card. Okay. So I'm going to put it right about there. Looks good. And then I'm going to add my daffodils that I just colored, so I can put a little bit of ink on the back. And I'm going to show you another way to do this daffodil as well, with using cardstock. So you don't have to color it if you don't have coloring materials, or if you don't like to color, you can use cardstock just to cut it out. Okay, so try to get rid of that and put a bit of glue on the back of this one, and then we can embellish it with some gems that came in the kit, or with whatever gems you want to use. And then I'll put one of these up here. Cute. Okay, so the gems that came in this kit are these cute white ones here. So I'm just going to add them to my sentiment piece here. Put one there. And one over here. Get that off. And I'll put one down here as well. All right, so there we go. There's my first card. And now I have another one that I already made. And oh, when I was gluing, or when I was coloring that piece, I got a little bit messy there, so that we're gonna cover up anyways. So when I did this, I used the die that says love from the add-on, and I did one in this color, which is Berry Burst, and one in Petal Pink, just to give it a really nice look, because those are the coordinating colors. And it was very thin when I just used one, but when I glued them together, it was thicker. So that will work better for the card base. And this piece here actually came on the inside of one of the envelopes. This was the envelope that was longer like that, so I just cut the fold off there, and I'm using that for my piece at the bottom. So I'm going to glue that there. Just going to bring in my tweezers. Where did they go? I lost them. I'll be done in a minute. Just going to glue that on there. Okay, and there we go. And then my sentiment piece is going to have the word love on it. I'm going to glue that there, and then glue the word love on it. Oh, my gem fell off, so I didn't press it hard enough over here, so it's going to glue that back on and give it a little bit of a harder press that time. There we go. Okay, so here is my sentiment piece. I'm going to glue the middle part of the word love on there, and then attach it to the sentiment piece. So I don't want to put glue on the top and bottom of the L, because it's not going to be actually touching the sentiment piece. So did I get on there? I'm going to try to cover up that mark. I got something on my sentiment piece, so I'm going to try to cover it up. Okay, so there we go. Get that on there, and then I can glue that on there, and then decide where I want to put my embellishments. So this little guy, I think I'm going to glue the bottom of this little die cut. This came in the paper pumpkin kit, so cute. So I'm just going to put that there, and line that up there. Okay, so now my L, actually, you can see it better with that brown behind it. I like the way that looks. And then I can adhere it there. Also, I cut some pieces with garden green. So I doubled these up again, and I cut 2 at the same time. And then I did the same thing with the yellow. And then I just cut them and pasted them together. So I have 2 daffodils using the die cutter, so I didn't have to glue, or didn't have to color them using my blends. I'm going to glue this on here, and then we'll use the daffodils to embellish at the top. Okay, so the glue is going to go down the middle section of this flower. Here we go. Not stuck yet. Okay, there we go. And then I can glue that one here, and then we can embellish. So I think what I'm going to use to glue it down with is a couple of dimensionals, because then they're not going to move around like the glue will. Okay, bring that in. Here we go. And then I can use my little flowers that I made to embellish on the sides. So one's going to go there, and one's going to go over here. And I'm going to put this one right there. So I'm going to use another dimensional on that one. Get that on there. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath. There we go. And then I can pop these up too with dimensionals. Let's see if these big ones will fit. Looks like it'll pretty much fit. If you find that they're too big, you can use the smaller ones as well. So here's the smaller ones. It's probably going to work a bit better with the smaller one. So I'm just going to put one there. And let's see how that one looks. I need to trim it at all. So a little bit of the white part is showing when I use the big one. So you can just cut that off. Get that piece out of there. There we go. And then I can adhere it. Just gonna take these off. I really like that Stampin' Up! Has these little embellishments or dimensionals. The small dimensionals, it's so good for little pieces like this. And then this one, I'm going to cover up my little boo-boo that I made up there. And then I could either just glue these down or cut little strips of dimensionals there. I think I'm just going to glue these down though. And that'll just stay down there. And a little bit of glue on the bottom of this one too. And then we're done. I will just need to maybe embellish it with some gems. Put a little bit of glue there. Just gonna get the rest of the glue off. Okay, so there we go. I'll just bring in my gems and put a couple of embellishments on there. Get these out of the way. And where did my embellishments go? I lost them already. Here they are. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a couple of these on. And then we have a really cute card. So where do I wanna put these? I think I'm gonna put them off to the side. And maybe another one over here. There we go. All right, so there we go. So there's another couple of alternate cards you can use for the paper pumpkin, or just use your own card stock, whatever designer series paper you like to make these really fun cards. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.